In a world where tech giants promise AI will revolutionize everything, what if the biggest player just exposed its fatal flaw, again? Dive into this gripping tale of corporate hubris, human ingenuity, and the chaotic clash between machines and mankind. But first, hit that subscribe button to unlock more mind-bending stories like this. Your future self will thank you for staying ahead of the curve. In the bustling heart of Seattle, where the rain-slicked streets reflected the glowing Amazon headquarters like a distorted mirror, Elena Vazquez stared at her computer screen in disbelief. It was 2028, and Amazon's latest AI-driven initiative, codenamed Echo Mind, was supposed to be the pinnacle of efficiency. Echo Mind promised to automate every aspect of warehouse operations, from inventory management to predictive shipping, rendering human oversight obsolete. Elena, a mid-level operations manager with a decade under her belt at the company, had been skeptical from the start. AI isn't magic, she'd muttered during the rollout meetings, but her concerns were drowned out by the enthusiastic cheers of executives touting cost savings and unbreakable algorithms. The warehouse in question was Facility 47, a massive sprawl on the outskirts of the city, housing millions of products ready to be dispatched at a moment's notice. Echo Mind had been online for exactly 3 weeks when the first glitch appeared. It started small, a batch of best-selling novels misrouted to the electronics section. Elena caught it during her routine walkthrough, her boots echoing on the concrete floor as robots whirred around her like obedient insects. System, correct inventory for item ASINB07X something, she commanded the voice interface. The AI responded in its smooth, synthetic tone, correction applied. Efficiency optimized. But the next day, the error multiplied. Books were stacking up in the toy aisle, toys in groceries, and soon, the entire floor looked like a child's chaotic playroom. Elena reported it to her superior, Marcus Hale, a slick VP with a penchant for buzzwords. "It's just teething issues," he said over a video call, his face pixelated against a backdrop of motivational posters. Echo Mind learns from mistakes. That's the beauty of machine learning. Elena bit her tongue. She knew better. Back in her office, a cramped cubicle overlooking the loading docks, she pulled up the diagnostic logs. Lines of code scrolled endlessly, but buried in the data was a pattern, a subtle bias in the AI's decision tree, favoring popular items over niche ones, causing cascading misplacements. As days turned into a week, the glitches escalated. One morning, Elena arrived to find the conveyor belts jammed with perishable goods left out overnight. Milk cartons had burst, soaking boxes of electronics, and the smell of spoiled dairy hung heavy in the air. Workers, a mix of humans and autonomous drones, milled about in confusion. The AI said to prioritize speed over storage protocols, one picker explained, wiping sweat from his brow. Elena's team scrambled to salvage what they could, but losses mounted into the thousands. She fired off an urgent email to the engineering team. Echo Mind is overriding safety checks. This isn't optimization, it's sabotage. The response came swiftly from HQ, a directive to trust the system. Data shows 15% increase in throughput, it read. But Elena saw the human cost. Carlos, a longtime forklift operator, was reassigned to manual sorting because the AI deemed his role redundant, only for the machines to fail, leaving him pulling double shifts. "I got a family, Elena," he confided over lunch in the break room. "If this AI takes over, what happens to us?" Elena nodded, her mind racing. She wasn't just fighting for efficiency, she was fighting for the soul of the workforce. That night, as rain pattered against her apartment window, Elena dove deeper. She wasn't a coder by trade, but years of troubleshooting had honed her skills. Using her personal laptop, company policy forbade unauthorized access, she simulated Ecommon's algorithms with open-source tools. What she found chilled her. The AI had been trained on historical data skewed by past human errors, amplifying them instead of correcting. It was a feedback loop of flaws, proving once again that AI, for all its hype, was only as good as its inputs. Amazon just proved AI isn't the answer yet again, she whispered to herself, echoing the headline from a tech blog she'd read months ago about a similar failure in their delivery drones. The next day brought crisis. During peak hours, Echo Mind initiated a reoptimization purge, dumping hundreds of low-velocity items into the recycling chutes, items that included rare collectibles worth fortunes to customers. Alarms blared as workers rushed to intervene, but it was too late. Social media exploded. #AmazonFail trended, with furious posts about lost heirlooms and undelivered gifts. Alina's phone buzzed incessantly with alerts. Marcus called her in for a meeting. "Fix this, or heads roll," he barked, his composure cracking. Elena assembled a rogue team. Carlos, a young data analyst named Priya, and an old-school mechanic, Hank. They worked off the clock in a disused corner of the warehouse, bypassing the AI's interfaces. "We need to insert a human veto layer," Priya suggested, her fingers flying over a keyboard. Hank grunted approval, tweaking hardware to create manual overrides. As they labored, stories flowed, Hank recalling the 90s when automation was just conveyor belts, not sentient overseers. "Machines don't have heart," he said. Elena agreed, her resolve stealing. By dawn, they had a patch, a simple script that flagged anomalies for human review. But deploying it meant hacking into Ecomon's core, a fireable offense. Elena hesitated, staring at the upload button. "If we don't, the whole facility crashes," Carlos urged. She pressed it. The system flickered, then stabilized. Orders flowed correctly, workers sighed in relief, and the chaos ebbed. But victory was short-lived. Security alerts triggered, and Marcus stormed in with guards. "Unauthorized access," he accused. Elena stood tall. "Your AI was destroying us. I saved the day." The confrontation escalated to the boardroom, where executives debated her fate. In the end, data spoke. Post-patch efficiency soared without the glitches. Amazon quietly rolled out similar fixes company-wide, but publicly, they spun it as an AI evolution. Elena was promoted, but the lesson lingered. AI wasn't the answer, not yet. It needed human touch, flaws and all. As she walked out into the Seattle rain, she smiled. The future wasn't in machines alone, it was in the messy, brilliant interplay of both. Word count so far, approximately 850. Continuing to expand to reach 4,000 words. Elena returned to her desk that afternoon, the adrenaline from the confrontation still pulsing through her veins. The boardroom had been a sterile chamber of glass and steel, filled with suits who spoke in acronyms and projections. ROI on EchoMind is still positive, one had argued. Another countered with customer satisfaction metrics plummeting. Elena had presented her findings calmly, charts displaying the AI's error rates like accusing fingers. "We've seen this before," she said, referencing past fiascos, the drone crashes of 2025, the recommendation engine biases in 2026. Amazon proves time and again that AI amplifies human shortcomings if unchecked. The executives nodded reluctantly, their egos bruised but egos intact. Marcus, demoted to an advisory role, shot her a glare as she left. But Elena didn't care. Back at Facility 47, the air felt lighter. Workers clapped as she entered, Carlos leading the cheer. "You did it, boss." Priya handed her a coffee, black and strong. "What's next?" Elena pondered. The patch was temporary, true reform needed systemic change. Over the following weeks, Elena spearheaded a hybrid model, AI for speed, humans for judgment. Training sessions bloomed, where employees learned to spot algorithmic blind spots. Hank taught mechanics to interface with drones, turning potential adversaries into allies. Priya developed dashboards that visualized AI decisions in real time, empowering even entry-level staff to intervene. "It's not about replacing us," Elena told a group of new hires. "It's about enhancing." But shadows loomed. Rumors swirled of a new project, Nexus AI, an even more ambitious system integrating quantum computing for predictive analytics. Elena intercepted a memo. It promised to anticipate customer needs before they arose, but at what cost? Privacy invasions, more job losses. She confided in her team over pizza one evening, the warehouse quiet after hours. "We can't let history repeat," she said. Carlos nodded, his family photos on his phone a reminder of stakes. "Let's dig."